Okay, the question on the table is how do I set up a sheet index that includes consultant drawings? The goal that I think most of us have is we would really love to be able to auto-populate. You can do that if you have a linked Revit file, but generally speaking, we don't really get linked Revit files and stuff with full sheet information and everything like that, or at least it's really difficult. What I find is the easiest way to manage it is to create what's called, and I actually forget what it's called now. Oh yeah, data row. So you create data rows. Now these data rows need to be organized with certain things. So basically, I've created my sheet list here, and it has all of my, my sheets on it. If I do insert data row, it creates a line item for a new sheet, right? So it auto created A503. It does not exist in my drawing. So if I look, or I should say in my model. So if I look at my list of sheets, I have all the way down to A502, but this A503 does not exist in my Revit file. So I could call it something like E101 for my electrical engineer, something like that. Now, this doesn't really organize it the way I want it to be organized. What I need to do is create sort of a sheet group kind of category, and then I can organize it that way. So in your file, go to Manage and go to, yeah, let's do project parameter. I think it's a project parameter. Yeah, we're going to put it on Sheets. Yeah, so project parameter, go to Add. We're going to create one under the Sheet category, and it does need to be instance. So that way, when I create a new sheet, I can tell it which consultant I want it to be under. So I'm going to call this sheet group. Yes, I'm recording it. So sheet group. Okay, you want to make sure that's a text parameter. You can group it under something. It doesn't really matter because you can't really select it in your project parameter thing anyway. So sheet group, let's put it under, let's put it under general. Okay, so we'll hit OK and then hit OK. So now what you're going to find is when you're on your sheet and you're looking at your parameters here, you see this general category, and there's now a parameter on our sheets called sheet group. What I can do with this is create what discipline I want it to be under. So if I call this architectural, this sheet gets categorized under architectural, but first I have to add that parameter into my schedule. So let's do that. I'm going to go to fields. I'm going to get rid of all this extra crap I don't need. So I'm going to get rid of that, and we're just going to look at sheet number, sheet name, and sheet group. I'm going to put sheet group up front. All right, so now I've got one sheet that's in architectural. I've got another sheet that is in electrical. Okay, and then I'm going to use that trick that I showed you in the last video. So I'm going to sort group by sheet group, and I'm not going to itemize every instance, and I'm going to change all these empty ones to architectural. Boom. Now they're all there. So I go back to sort group. I'm going to itemize every one of them again. Now I've got all of my architecture sheets under architectural and my electrical sheet there. So let me emulate a few more things for you here. So the way that this gets organized is it's not really going to be controlled by like the groups the way that I want it to. So if I want it to say architectural, but I want it to be organized the way I control it, like civil, then landscape, then architectural, I need to create some other parameter for that. So let's do, I'm going to do an insert data row. I'm going to create one for civil, create one for landscape. So civil is going to be called C101, landscape is going to be called L101. Now the problem I have is that if I organize it by sheet group, it's going to be architectural, civil, electrical, landscape, which isn't the proper order. So let's drop in another parameter. We're going to do another project parameter. We're going to call this one sheet order. Do I want to do sheet order? Well, there are a couple of different ways of doing it, but let's do yeah, we'll just leave it as sheet order. Okay, but oh, I need a category. Sheet. We'll make this text, and this will be under general instance. Okay, all right. So now I need to add that one in. So let's grab sheet order. We're going to put that up front. Yeah, you could call it group order or something like that. What our office does is the sheet group category is actually called discipline, and then the sheet order category is your sheet group. If that makes any sense. And we do it like zero. We do it like 0, 1, or yeah, like 0, 1 is civil, 0, 2 is anyway. It'll look like kind of like this. But anyway, so architectural, I'm going to do 0, 3. And actually, what's cool now is I can go back to sorting grouping. I can do it by sheet group, and I can not itemize every instance. And now I can just say all my architecturals are going to be 0, 3, civils are going to be 0, 1, landscape's going to be 0, 2, and electrical is actually going to be, let's see, it's going to be structural is 4, mechanical is 5, plumbing is 6, electrical is 0, 7. So, like that. All right, now I'm going to itemize it all so I see them in those groups. We need to organize it first. Let's do sorting and grouping again. First, we're going to organize it by sheet order. Then we're going to organize it by sheet name. So now we have 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3s, and then 0, 7. And then, oh, did I say sheet name or sheet number? I want it to be by sheet number. Sheet number. There we go. Okay, so that organizes everything in the order I want, but it doesn't separate it into separate groups. So you go to sorting grouping again, and in this case what we're going to do is put a blank line. Yeah, blank line. So now that breaks it apart. Additionally, we can add a title to each one. So I can say I want to add a header, not to sheet order. I want to add my header on, yeah, let's actually let's do sheet order, then sheet group, then sheet number. And this one's going to have the header. There you go. So now it says civil, landscape, architectural, electrical. And I can drop that sheet schedule. Let's go to my, oh, I don't have a title sheet. I'll put it on the site plan for now. But I pull that schedule on. I can stretch this out so that it kind of all reads as a singular line. Sheet name needs to be the longer one. And then finally, if you really want it to look nice, you're going to want to hide, you can hide this column and hide that column. And then you get your schedule, your sheet list, your sheet index. There are other things you can do to format it. You can get rid of the title by going to formatting, turn off, or rather appearance, turn off show title, show headers, hit OK, and then, yeah, that's what it looks like. So that's how you create a sheet list, including consultants. Yes?
That's a lot of steps.
It is a lot of steps, but once you get it, it's done. Because you basically create it. Like I did that now, and if I just did that once in my template, it's there forever. You had a question?
Yes, and then to change the font size on the paper, could you do that through the scale, or would it have to be a parameter?
It's under appearance. So you go here and you change this text. So if I want 332nd text, I change all this, and it makes it a little bit smaller.
Right, but what if
That
I
kind
want
of
a different one that's not a preset?
You have to create a new font style, which is under, I always forget where that is when I'm trying to do it off the bat like that.
A new style for a schedule?
Well, no, just a new font style in general. You'd go to annotate and then go to a text, and these are all of your font styles. So go to edit type and you can create a new font style here. I won't go through all of that right now. That's a separate discussion. Yeah, pretty much. Yep. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, I'm glad I got to show you guys that. That's another one that you need to remember where it is, because you're going to get to an office and And odds are they're not going to have it set up in a really nice way, the way you like it. So if you bring this in and you say like, hey boss, I got a smarter way of doing this, we should do it this way, you're going to get some cool points. Actually, now that you mention it, I don't think I've ever tried. Formatting. Let's see. Can we get? Oh yeah, grid lines. Take that off. Boom. There you go. Cool. All right. Good. Enjoy that one. You're gonna like it.